Hey everybody, welcome to Storm Talk. This is Wave 3 News meteorologist Brian Good, filling in for Kevin Harned on this Monday evening. I hope all is well with you. We are getting some of the new data coming in, of course, about the new tropical storm Bill, officially announced just a moment ago before I started the video, in fact. And we'll go into more details on Bill here in just a second. First off, I'm going to cover our severe risk. Again, a marginal risk for severe. We've got some very weak shear. Again, as you, if you watch these blogs a lot, you know that 40 miles per hour, or 40 knots, of shear is usually the threshold that I think is usually the area of concern when it comes to damaging wind gusts. You can sometimes get them at 30 and 35 in very isolated cases, but usually 40 for more organized severe potential. And there's a marginal risk for overnight tonight in Indiana because the shear is about 30, a few pockets of 35 for overnight. Nothing crazy, but I can see why they have a marginal, but even that is maybe a stretch, and a lot of us can see it that way. Tomorrow, same scenario, very weak shear. We're on the edge of the Ring of Fire. The Strawn High itself located over portions of the Smoky Mountains into the Carolinas here, so everything goes around the high pressure, the Ring of Fire, as we call that, and that's what's also going to steer Bill, by the way, later. But it's allowing just enough instability when it comes to the shear and the wind speeds around the high to create the potential for a few warnings to be issued. Otherwise, it's sending us quite a bit of action when it comes to showers and thunderstorms. If we need a little further to the south, would be great when it comes to getting some beneficial rain. But so far, it looks like Indiana's going to get the brunt of this one. All right, 86, even as late as 10 o'clock here. It is warm outside, and yeah, it's a little humid out as well. We've had a few little downpours that have been trying to develop this evening. They're struggling. Again, the shear is just not really strong enough, and now that we've lost the sunlight, the instability is beginning to fade out. So a lot going against them to keep them going. But there is going to be a low-level jet kicking in here shortly, now developing over portions of Arkansas and the Ozarks. We will see that push in here towards sunrise. So we're likely going to see some more enhancement of thunderstorm action, it looks like, as we head into the overnight period towards sunrise. And that looks to be mainly across Illinois, maybe northern Kentucky and Indiana. I wouldn't be surprised, though, based on some of the radar and satellite trends, that the jet may even pump up some thunderstorms there in west central Kentucky as well toward sunrise, based on the satellite loops there. We'll keep an eye on that. A wide review shows Bill, again, now a tropical storm. You see it spinning nicely there in the western areas of the Gulf of Mexico, and is likely going to track and then eventually go around the Ring of Fire up to the north. So the high pressure is critical here because, as always the case with tropical systems, high pressures steer how they flow and how they track on to land masses, and any type of cold front or an approaching trough that moves in can also help steer tropical systems. Well, the way this is turning out, there's not much coming our way from the north. It's all the high pressure that's fully in control of our weather, and that's going to be the driving force for Bill, it looks like. But before we get into all that, let's talk about the short term. Overnight tonight, this is one of the short range models, picking up a few spotty activity of showers and thunderstorms, and then by early tomorrow morning, midday, it's already picking up on some action here with some showers and storms moving through. Hopefully we get some beneficial rain, and these are going to be some tropical downpours, so you can get some healthy rain totals in a very short amount of time. The problem is, these are not widespread rains that we face in this setup. They're very patchy and localized, which means, once again, some of you are going to get one heck of a rainfall the next day or two, and some of you are not going to get a drop whatsoever. And you're going to be angry with me on either case. Just know that they're going to be very localized, and hopefully we'll get some bigger clusters to get some decent widespread rains, but again, it's going to be difficult to see that happen. Another short-range model shows activity picking up again around sunrise, and then off and on activity through the afternoon. Now, there is a chance we can still hit day number 7 of a heat wave here and get another 90-degree day. I'm not going to say it's not going to happen. Right now, I got the forecast high at 89. I'm going to make a decision right at 11 o'clock news to raise that or not. But it wouldn't surprise me to hit 90 before the storms really hit the sensor at the airport and knock us down. Either way, you can see the wide variety you'll have on temperatures depending on where you are as these storms roll through here. And it looks like the low-level jet will kick in again tomorrow night with more enhanced shower and thunderstorm activity, perhaps over Kentucky. We'll see how that plays out, and that'll lead to more thunderstorms on Wednesday afternoon. All right, so going back to Bill, here's the stats. 50-mile-per-hour winds, gust to 65, moving northwest at 12. They now have tropical storm warnings in effect near Corpus Christi all the way to the Houston Galveston Bay. And again, no hurricane alerts or anything. These are all tropical storm warnings. And the track right now takes it into central Texas as a depression. Again, this is the center of the storm. Most of the rain is likely going to fall on the eastern side of that center, as usually the case. And so as it tracks to the north, a lot of that rain is going to fall along that track and through the Ohio Valley. And at this point, The models are trying to get a handle on this, but as we head into Wednesday, very scattered activity. We'll start to feel the effects, though, of Bill by the time we get to Thursday evening and overnight Thursday into Friday. And it will all depend on the track of moisture as it moves around the arc here of the Ring of Fire, as far as how much rain we get. On the flip side, if we're not in the core of the heaviest rain, say it does fall mainly to our north, that will mean that we will be in the zone for decent wind shear on the southeast section of this. Now, we're not talking about a massive severe weather outbreak, and I'm not talking about Ike or anything like that. I don't even want to get that started. I'm just trying to say that there's enough shear potential here for this Thursday night into Friday to potentially produce some severe thunderstorm warnings, maybe a tornado warning. I wouldn't rule it out, but I think there's a chance for maybe some wind damage potential with some of this if we're on the more drier side, if you will, of this rain zone that comes to the Ohio Valley. So we really want to be in the core of the heavier rain to get some beneficial rains. We don't want to be too far into this highly sheared zone for the chance for pop-up thunderstorms that could become severe. So that's kind of the best way I can explain what we're going to be watching for. Look at the rain core, though, in Texas. I mean, my scaling goes up to about 4 inches here. But this will be about, I would say, 6 to 12 inches of rain. Yeah, mainly on the eastern side of the track. And then as it moves into Ohio Valley, it loses its punch, obviously is the case, and it moves through here and it begins to ease off in the rain totals. But keep in mind, this is only through just after midnight, Thursday night, and early Friday morning. This will likely continue a little bit more into Ohio, the potential for about 4, maybe 5 inches of rain. But right now, it's spinning at least through early on Friday, about an inch of rain potentially in the northern part of our viewing area and the lesser amounts to the south. But again, if we don't get the heavy rain potential, our concern then would be the potential for stronger thunderstorms, wind damage potential there. So it's a give and take here on how this one's going to play out. After that, it does look like temperatures as we head into the weekend here may ease off initially, but as we into Sunday, we're back into the gray-white zone here. That's the 90s, the core of the heat, trying to build back in. It kind of fluctuates a little bit Monday and Tuesday, but I still think by the time we head into the middle of next week, we're going to get back into the temperatures back well into the 90s and a good chunk of the southeast corner of the country, and I think it will influence us once again. So we're not done with the 90s. A lot of you have been asking, I thought we were going to get like this crazy cool summer, wet summer. Wouldn't roll it out yet. I mean, technically it's still spring, first off. Secondly, we had a stretch of 8 days of 90s in June last year, and then we hit beautiful weather, 70s in July. Yes, we had the hottest of the whole summer happened in July, mid-July, about 97 degrees. And then we went back to the 70s again with quite a bit of rain, in fact, all the way through August. So the summer flipped on us. The pattern did quite a bit from June into August. And so just because it's the way it is right now doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. So I don't urge caution on getting too far ahead of ourselves of how things will play out down the road. All right, guys, that's it for right now. I have, again, the very latest timing and numbers and maps coming up after the hockey game is over with. And I'll see you at 11, and have a good night.